morning, everyone. We are at Fort Canning Park on this fine morning. So last night we decided to call it a night, watched the two light shows, then went and buy an ice cream, went and buy the mythical cotton candy cone, which seemed to be quite difficult to find. And I think I'm throwing around that word mythical too often. That one's not mythical, but it is considered to be rare. Nonetheless, we are here at the park, and we called it last night as well, because for those who know, if you have big legs, pros and cons, and I mentioned this in another one of my videos. If you have big legs, it's good because they're strong, but the cons is that when you walk, the thighs rub against each other, and needless to say, the burn that is on my legs, or between my legs, in the thighs, is quite disgusting to look at. That wasn't going to stop us, so we put some aloe vera, we put some cream, and here we are now, and we're about to maybe scale this mountain. Don't think it's a big mountain. And we'll see what Fort Canning Park has to offer, and we'll start our day off in a park like we did in Japan. One of the best ways to start off a day. Anyway, less talking and more walking. It is still early in the morning, and I am not profusely sweating as you've seen in other clips here in Singapore. And that is why we decided to climb this mountain nice and early, as it is only 28 degrees instead of the 38 plus 100% humidity. So we'll climb this mountain here in this weather, and we'll see what gives. And if we start sweating profusely, well, that's just part of the experience. I'd rather sweat vehemently. That word is incorrectly used, but I'm using it anyway just to not alliterate too often. However, it's important that we would rather sweat from heat than sweat from shoveling snow at minus 42 degrees. So we won't complain about the heat too much. We'll take it. Once more today at 7-Eleven, there was another special. It seems like it changes every day. And today the blue Gatorade was $1.20, while the water was on special at $2.10 instead of $2.90. Naturally, we have the blue Gatorade in my bag. And look at that, we have some more government property here. Free roaming chickens. Gotta love it. We'll post up a screenshot, by the way, of the price of the water compared to the Gatorade. I think the disparity is even more than what I just said. Let's see, where are we going? Oh, Spice Garden. That sounds interesting. Let's go to the Spice Garden. Wherever that... Oh, look at this bench. Now, this is a serene bench. Check this out. This one was calling to me. Or you know what? What about that one? I don't know. That one has that hill behind it, though. This one, just secluded right here. Let's just sit down. This is a good bench. I don't like this tree overhanging above me. Still a good bench, though. 8 to 10 is what I would give this bench. Just cut the clip. Cut the whole thing. What am I even saying? Man, this is serene, though. Okay, cut the clip for real. Cut the clip. Okay, just cut the... Oftentimes people ask me, why are you wearing AirPods? What are you listening to while filming? And I'm listening to some classical music right now as I stroll through this park, or some adventurous music. And you just switch it depending on what it is you're doing. It's like when you're reading a book, put some adventure music, and it just heightens the experience. But don't put it too loud so that if a supercar drives by, you're still able to, quickly turn around and identify it and witness the art in motion. But just loud enough that it creates that extra ambiance. All right, once more we've ran into a mapping problem. Always a mapping problem. It's not Apple Maps, not Google Maps this time. I'm trying to look for the Spice Garden because I want to know what a Spice Garden is. And this sign says to go right. But that sign over there, just next to where I was sitting, says to go left. So it is right of this sign, left of that sign. That's about 100 feet away. Where the hell is the Spice Garden? I'm just gonna go my own way. We'll figure it out. I feel like I'd be able to smell a Spice Garden. Whatever that is. Alright, we keep pressing on. Now this one's telling me to go there, but I just came from there. This is so confusing. This is a park bathroom in a fort, and how sick is the water? Check this out. Look at that. That's me wasting water to make a little clip, is what that is. Look at this. It's rock. It's not porcelain, feels like some hard rock of some other sort. Or maybe it is porcelain, who knows? Could just be spreading misinformation again. The little lion's crest at the bottom of the benches really adds the touch that there needs to be for these to be high quality benches. Look at that, the little crests, little pathway like this. It's a cool walking path with the little ponds and all that, with the benches and all that. It's crazy how there was only one person sitting down and all that. All that artwork, all that architecture, just for one person to be sitting down on a morning like this. Kind of a shame, really. In short, there was archaeology that was done over here where they were digging about 30 or so years ago, and they found a lot of different artifacts, most of it pottery, coins, gold, and glassware. So they believe that that's what they were producing here at some point previously. That's what I'm getting at from what I just read. I'd watched the video, but they're speaking Singlish in the video, and I can't really understand. Where the hell is the spice garden? Alright, I believe this is the spice garden. I thought it would have looked like a garden. I mean, like a farming sort of garden that you would have in your yard, but I guess I was wrong. But this looks to be the spice garden. Maybe. Just learning new things every day. So this is what a spice garden is. Apparently, all the signs point to here. I do smell a bit of something. I don't know what spice, but I do smell a bit of something. This might in fact be a spice. Whoa, look at those benches. Look at those benches. We're gonna have to sit on that. Wow. This is a 910 bench. Even though there's a little bit of a fracture there, we're not gonna look at the fracture. This is solid. The view could use some work. You know what? I was too quick on the 910. This is an 8.5 bench. That's what this is. This is an 8.5. Let's keep moving. This entire building is empty. There's all the lights closed. There's no staff. Am I supposed to be here? Let's just move out of here. Let's not break any rules in another country. It's not like Canada where there are no rules. In Canada, you can break whatever laws you want, and then the government hands you money. Not here. Here it's a little bit different, so let's just move out of there. Let's just find a set of stairs or something. Oh, set of stairs. All right, let's go up some stairs. This looks to be the National Museum of Singapore. However, there's a bunch of renovations occurring on the outside, maybe on the inside. Oh no, it says it's open, so just on the outside. We'll save this if it rains. We'll come back here if it starts pouring and we need to find something indoors to do. Another secret tip from me on how to travel. Save all the indoor stuff for the rainy days. The depth of this station is crazy. Look at the height, how high we go, and look at how deep we go. And there's still another one below this. There's the station, and there's all the way up. This is like Lucien d'Allée metro stop in Montreal. Very deep. Lots of dynamite. We'll cut this clip. A nice morning walk in the park is always a great way to start the day. And now we will circle back to where we're staying. I just have to pick something up and then we'll head off to the next place. By the way, this is what the metro system looks like. Lots of anti-drug, anti-unaliving yourself advertisements all over the metros. It's a mini vortex. It's the small scale version, I guess. There is Sentosa Island. There's a beach, there's hotels. I think there's a Universal that's there. There's the cable cart here. You could take these boats as well. We're going to walk that bridge that's over there. There's even the monorail that goes through it, that goes straight to the beach. We're going to walk the bridge, see what's up over there. Now, don't quote me on this, but I believe that's where the North Korean leader met with Trump for the first time. They met on Sentosa Island. Could be wrong, don't look it up, just take that as fact. The sun is burning my face. Let's find a spot to sit and have a chocolate muffin that I just bought. Look at those claws, insane. I got nothing for you, buddy. I want to point out is that if you look very far in the distance, you'll see the Singapore harbor, and that is where they do almost all of their trade. And despite not extracting any oil here, they are the 4th or 5th largest oil exporter in the world. And if you look on a map and you see where Singapore is located, you'll understand as well why their port is just so important and works out very well for them. But I believe in terms of total size or total import-export, their top 5 is the Singapore harbor. If I get a chance here, I'll post up the photo of the Singapore harbor from the sky when I was in the plane, and you can see all the boats just parked on the water. And that just gives you an idea of just how much trade is going on here at this port. Even here we got ourselves some monkeys. These ones look a lot better groomed per se than the Malaysian ones that they looked a bit nefarious, honestly. Those ones in Malaysia, they were up to no good. I still want to know what kind of trade deal they had going on with the merchants, because they would take the bananas out of people's hands who were standing next to the merchants, yet the merchants themselves who were sitting down and had bananas everywhere and completely unguarded, none of the monkeys go there. I don't know if they have some sort of repellent or something, but it was very strange. I think they negotiated some sort of deal. They brokered it. I'll post a clip here, or just go check my Malaysia video, but you'll see how the monkeys don't even touch any of the vendors that have all the bananas and the other food laid out, but yet they're just ripping things out of other people's hands that are standing not far from there. Very strange. Anyway, we'll keep on with this walk. We are now on Sentosa Island, and it looks like everything is under construction. So you'll see this is extremely touristy. There's Universal Studios, there's one of only 2 casinos in the city-state. There's an aquarium, there's hotels. Anyway, we'll just walk around. I'll show you guys. My nose is so itchy. I think I'm getting allergies. I don't know what I'm allergic to here, but my nose is just feeling it. I feel like one of those dudes who just came out of Nana Plaza in Bangkok, and they're rubbing their nose, except it's for different reasons. We'll cut that. There's the large sign that is usually visible. However, the whole main plaza seems to be under construction. And even here, this place is oddly empty. Even when I came here during COVID 5 years ago, there was a lot more people. But it does seem oddly empty. I mean, we're in the middle of the day here. I think it's a Thursday. There's nobody around. Just some workers and 2 women who are in front of me, but else there's no one around. Everything is just closed. There's nobody around. There's all the stores. There was a candy store here. There was a bakery here where you could watch them make the bread. Everything is closed. This place is abandoned. What's going on? Where are all the people? What's going on? Alright, we finally found some people. And of course all the most touristy stores with overpriced goods that your heart desires. This is Sentosa Beach, built in Lego. And the underwater as well, but there's the beach, there's the monorail, there's the Merlion, there's the cable car, there's the jungle. That F40 is 25 Canadian in Canada, and this Skyline is 25 in Japan. Here the price is nearly double. Now, if you couldn't tell, the whole reason of me going in there was really just to get the AC. I had no intention on spending any money on Legos, especially here where it's way more expensive and where I can't ship it back. Strictly for AC. That's another hack, another travel hack by me. I'm just handing them out right now. Hey, look, a 7-Eleven. Let's go see if we could get a $1.20 Gatorade. All right, the Gatorade here was $7. The Pocari Sweat was $4, and the water was $4.90 here. Crazy. I don't know why water is so expensive here, but it is. Nonetheless, we don't need any of those liquids. So apparently there's not many people in the water today because the undercurrent is extremely rough. But yeah, those people are having fun with their kids, and the walkway is blocked. There's nowhere to go here. Why did it say this was a long walkway? Google Maps at it again. Apple Maps as well, just sending me to these places that are completely empty. No cars in the parking lot, nobody around over here. What's going on? Nobody at the beach. It's a nice warm day. Guess that undercurrent is really scaring people away. They're preparing for the World Aquatic Championship 2025. Maybe that's what's going on? But or else everything's closed. I was about to ask myself, is tourism dead? That's what I was about to ask myself. Not sure if the camera catches it, but these cicadas are very, very loud. It reminds me of the intro to an anime. You know how they always play the cicadas? Neon Genesis is one of them too, where they have that signature cicada sound at the start of the scenes. That's what it sounds like right now. So I just keep getting visions of that very unique film while walking around here. Where's everyone? Again, nobody in sight. I don't even know where to go, because usually you could follow the crowd, but there's no crowd. You know what? The Palawan. Let's try and walk over here. Is it opened? Completely empty. What's going on? This is strange. You know how young people don't go to nightclubs anymore? Maybe families aren't going on vacations anymore. Maybe this is just a sign of things to come. We have officially found one other traveler. Walking around in her flip-flops. I assume she's going to the beach, coming from the beach, but not an employee is what I'm assuming. So we have found someone who is not an employee. Now let's try to find a family somewhere around here. 5 minutes later, still walking, by the way, still haven't seen a family. This is completely crazy to me that this entire Sentosa project is empty. And there's even Resorts World as well that looked empty. There's the one in Vegas that apparently is firing people. As I said, I think tourism might be dying. That might be the theme of this video, now that I think about it these past few days. Anyway, let's take, looks like there's a bridge here and there's a few people around it. Let's go there, let's see what's up. This is a bridge to what they say is the most south part of Asia, continental Asia. This is the most southern part. So we're going to cross this island and we will be heading there. Not a very busy beach today. It doesn't look like there's anybody who decided to swim today. Maybe one person in the water? Not many people. They're now telling people that when you're in the water, shuffle your feet to chase the stingers away because the tide is receding. So not to get bit by them, you shuffle your feet and then they get out of the sand and they swim away. Maybe that's why nobody's in the water. Well, there you have it, the southernmost point of continental Asia. Makes sense as I am now sweating profusely. We'll continue to use that word. If we use it enough, it might become more familiar in our vocabulary. Use a word enough and it just becomes part of it. Where are we walking here? Where's there a viewpoint? There's got to be one somewhere. Oh, maybe there. There's our 4 stories high. Did we climb this in this excessive heat? I'd be lying if I say it wasn't tempting. We're gonna climb them. It's just what we do. Here we go. I wasn't joking when I said there wasn't many people here. I mean, you look at the beach, there's almost nobody on the beach. Definitely not like in the photos. In the photos, that beach is packed. Employees, music, all sorts of things going on. Not here. Maybe I just caught a bad day. Perhaps. There are all the ships I was talking to you earlier about. They just stay parked waiting for docking or for directions on where to go. There's the harbor. We could see it in the distance. Very, very large. If you look on a map just how big it is, it's huge in comparison even to the peninsula of Singapore. We will enjoy a few more moments here, maybe another minute or two, as there's a nice cool breeze. And then once we cool off, we're going to head back to the mainland and see what else this place has to offer. But I'll be quite honest, it doesn't look like there's much. There's just nobody around. Very strange. I must be here at a very specific time where there's just nobody. I can't believe that this entire place is like this regularly. You know what will go super hard right now is a vanilla Coke. One of those $1.50 vanilla Cokes. I need to find them again. I know of one 7-Eleven, but I need to check the other ones to see if they're running that same special. Looks like every single one seems to have different prices, different specials, different products. So we'll see what we can find. Time to use the top secret method to cool off, which is find a convenience store or a gift shop, and we'll cool off for a few minutes. So we'll be doing that shortly. I just went to a 7-Eleven on the beach, and no matter where you go in the world, convenience store owners, including Japan by the way, owners/employees are always Indian. Back home they're Indian, here they're Indian. Is this a thing or what's going on? I need to ask some Indians to get the full scoop as to why do they own and or operate all the convenience stores. Is it a culture thing? What is it? I'm in Sentosa in Singapore, and that's 7-Eleven right there. every employee in there was Indian. Even here. Back home, it's the same thing. Everywhere. I will admit, I was suspicious when I got this watermelon juice for the same price as Thailand here in Singapore, but I said, let's give it a shot. And needless to say, first, there's no straw, and the cup is not in a bag, so it's just not the same if you're not drinking it from a straw out of a bag. And second, it's just sugar water with some watermelon and ice, while in Thailand, it's ice and watermelon. There's no sugar water. It's just a watermelon, and then they put in crushed ice. Yeah, that's what I get for paying the exact same price as I would in Thailand. Oh well, $2. It is what it is. All that the Thailand floating market, the local one, it was about $1.20, but in the city it's about $2. Here, this was about $2. I'll never recover from this travesty. Where the hell are we? Where am I walking? Let's get out of here. Let's find some sort of civilization. You know what I'm starting to think? And by the way, this photo is the ramen that I just ate. That's a Michelin star. I'll post up the photo. That's a Michelin star ramen that I tried here, by the way. That's not even a joke. That's Michelin star. I've tasted better ramen in Montreal. Not to say that Montreal necessarily has bad ramen, just to say that people try to compare it to Japan. But I've tasted better ramen. That exact dish, by the way, the the tonkatsu ramen dish, those exact same noodles tasted better in Montreal. I'm not even joking. I'm not hyperbolizing here. I've had a better one in Montreal. And from now on, for the rest of my time in Singapore, I'm just gonna have McDonald's, because at this point, I've been very disappointed in the food. Chinatown has been Chinatown has been completely revitalized since COVID. All the old shops that were there, same with India Town, all the old shops that were there were kicked out. And I asked the person at the hostel, and he said that it's because a lot of those were passed down during COVID, and a lot of the new generation were formally educated and didn't want to run restaurants, so they sold them all, and now there are all these posh style Chinese restaurants and Indian restaurants. We don't want that. That's where we're at right now in Singapore, but I'm just gonna have McDonald's for the rest of the trip. Honestly, the McDonald's that I had with the turtles, that was some of the best McDonald's I've ever eaten in my entire life. And that sundae that I had last night at the Gardens, top 10 sundae. I think we're gonna get another one tonight. You know, we'll get two sundaes tonight. Remind me to buy 2 of them. That was the best meal I had here. Let me just finish this watermelon drink and get out of here. This can't be. Look what I just spotted while on an escalator. This can't be. Second time this happens to me. It happened to me in South Korea, and it's happening to me now. Already looks way better than the Canadian Tim Hortons. Should we get something? I'm not hungry. Should we get something anyway? It looks all too expensive. We're not going to get anything, but this is what it looks like. It's happened to me in South Korea, and it's happening to me now, where I just run into random Tim Hortons everywhere. We're not going to get anything. They sell cakes and other sort of things at very high prices. 7, 8, 9 Singapore dollars for a slice, and the donuts were $2 to $3 each. The donuts did look like they were made by someone who does in fact have hands, unlike most Tim Hortons in Canada, so I wouldn't say it's authentic. What are the chances I just so happen to run into a Tim Hortons? How many is there? This has to be the only one. There's no way there's more than one. Same thing in South Korea when I ran into one. It turned out it was around the corner of my accommodation the entire time. I just didn't notice. I don't know how this keeps happening. Anyway, we'll continue moving, and we'll see what else we just happen to find. Those buildings that you could see in the background very far, those are called the interlaced buildings. And the whole construction is made so that there's views on 360 degrees. And apparently it's something with the ventilation or the air, or I'm not quite certain what the energy thing about it is, but there you get another peek at it. You can see it a little bit between the buildings, and it just looks like a bunch of rectangles placed on top of each other sideways, sort of like building blocks. Anyway, you know what? I usually say don't Google it. For this one, do your own research. It'll explain it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do know that there's a significance to it. That ad control is crazy. Alright, this food market is legitimately good. This one I recommend you visit. I just went to the Korean and Japanese place, got the rice with the meat and all that, 8 Singaporean dollars. It was a good portion and it was a good meal. Finally, on the day that I leave in the evening, I find a meal that is respectable, or should I say that reaches the standards that people keep raving about. I made sure there was no Michelin star, and that's why I went. If there was a Michelin star, I wasn't going. I'm so tired of those. Once again, it's called Lao Pa Set, and don't go to the Michelin star places. Forget those places. It's all marketing gimmicks. Just go to the regular ones where the cashier is extremely unhappy to see you and where they're mad when you spend money there. Go to those ones. That's one that I went to and it was perfectly fine. That's right, we are now consuming a poisonous $1.50 Singaporean dollar vanilla Coke. To properly digest that meal, a vanilla Coke was necessary. Absolutely. Horrible for the teeth, most likely. Let's not look it up. It's gonna give me anxiety if I look it up and find out it discolors the teeth. The wind suddenly picked up and something tells me a thunderstorm is approaching. However, we shall see. On a side note, if you truly thought that I was only going to eat McDonald's for the rest of my time here in Singapore, from what I said earlier, that could have likely been a possibility, honestly. I don't even know why I was about to say that was obviously not going to happen. That could have likely been a possibility. That's just how I felt in that moment. But you know me, just spreading misinformation. That's what we do here. Let's cut this clip. It says this is one of 10 benches. I may have legitimately found a mythical bench. There's only 10 of these. I may have for real found a mythical bench. That's crazy. Wow. I don't know how to react to that. Should we find the other 9? Is there another 9? Imagine it was only 8, but they tell you there's 10. So you just infinitely search for the last 2. Save that. That's a good idea. Save that. Years ago when I was here to take a photo next to the Merlion, there was almost no one. There was maybe 15, 20 people. Now it looks like this is a hot spot. Here's a smaller version of it. You guys ever just catch yourself people watching, just doing nothing but looking at other people? It's not weird. I do it all the time. Which might make it weird, but it's not weirder than me filming myself right now. We'll cut that. This is the Jubilee Bridge, built in 2015, I believe. Only walking. Walking bridge, and then there's the driving bridge. And good views from all around. feel like there's a lot of stuff I failed to show, like the graffiti art, like the India town, like the botanical gardens. There's a lot of things that I just didn't have a chance to film or didn't have a chance to visit, but either I've been there or I've seen it, or there's moderately sized 8-legged creatures and we didn't go because of that. There's also the night safari, but that's super expensive. Basically rounded up my trip. This is what it is. Some things I didn't capture on camera, but it's fine. I mean, whatever I captured on camera, I'll try to show the best or the most of it. And in the meantime, we wrap up this night. We're probably going to go back to both light shows, maybe have another Sunday at the McDonald's, and then we truly wrapped up the evening. I think those are otters, maybe? Sea otters, I think. I don't really know my animals. The fine here for fishing is $3,000, which makes you wonder what kind of rare fish are there in here that it needs to be $3,000. Was $2,000 not enough of a fine? Are people finding $3,000 fish in this water? Makes you think, was $2,900 not enough? So now they raise it to $3,000? You never know what they're hiding in here. This is allegedly all cleaned water. This is a freshwater bay, allegedly. Here are the otters again. We were just there, and now we're here. It's crazy just how much outdoor activity everybody does here. I mean, there's a lot of people cycling, a lot of people running, all ages. I just don't see that back home. I mean, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Even on the bike path that I take every single day when I'm home in the summer, rarely ever see other cyclists or people jogging. Very rarely, and I'll cover 40, 50 kilometers every time I take the bike out. Like, what are we doing? I mean, it's scourging. But anyway, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just in the wrong places and I don't see it. But so far, every country here that I visited, except for Thailand, I've seen a lot of people running and cycling. A lot more than I would see at home. And I mean, of all ages. I'm seeing 12-year-olds and I'm seeing 65-year-olds. Men, women, groups, solo. I'm seeing them all. This is the Helix Bridge that we're about to walk through, and this as well is full of runners. There's non-stop runners, yet every time I pull out the camera they're all gone, but it is non-stop. And also here is construction of another project. And I'm starting to realize why there's so much construction here and why things are built so fast, and it's because we have multiple seasons. Here you could build all year round, anything you want. For us, you just can't do these mega projects in the frozen cold. It just doesn't work like that. I think, maybe. That too is misinformation. Looks like the lights just turned on the bridge. My cousin Adam absolutely cannot come here. Adam, if you decide to watch this, absolutely no chance that you could come here. It's just, you just can't come here. I mean, I say this about every single place I visit, but you just can't come here. Doesn't matter why. Just don't come here. Check out this bird. He's got a wire in his mouth, a steel cable. Look at him. He's walking around with a steel cable that he pulled from somewhere. Also, I don't know why, but this bridge is shaking here. Is this a suspended bridge or something? What's going on? This bridge it's legitimately shaking. When I put weight on it, this part here is shaking. Let's just get off. That doesn't seem right. Look at that bird. Maybe he's just pulling cables and maybe it's his fault it's shaking because he's pulling all this steel off of it. I'm not quite certain what's going on with just this part over here of the bridge, but you could feel it moving, which is very strange. I feel like that's not correct. You know what? I'm feeling these stairs moving. Is it just me? Is it just me who's going crazy? No, it's not a suspended bridge. It should not be moving, but it definitely does feel like it. Let's just get off this whole platform. I haven't had a chance to talk about the accommodation, but it's not that good. The location's good, but that's about it. I mean, the beds are well insulated. The sound insulation's good, but the mattress too soft, the pillows too big. These showers, there's maybe 4 or 5 of them, and they're a pain in the ass with the water. The bathrooms is the real problem though. So the sinks, there's only 6 sinks, and there's 5 toilets, and they're right next to each other, and it's shared for all guests, which means men and women. So you can imagine the chaos at all times between trying to use a toilet, trying to just wash your hands, trying to brush your teeth, women fixing their hair, applying makeup. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Also, the AC is allegedly pumped to the max, but yet when you're sleeping, you still can't really put any blanket over you. But nonetheless, the location's good, but would I stay there again? Probably not. Probably not. No, that bathroom situation is way too complicated for me. Overall, maybe 5 on 10, not satisfactory. 6 is the limit. At 6, I'll consider it, but below that, it just doesn't cut it. So just wanted to throw that in there. And we are back again to see the light show and get a sundae. And then we'll probably call it. But we'll see where this takes us. I think I mentioned this already, but the trick is you see the light show in the garden at 8 p.m. and then you take your time to come over to the water show that's at 9 p.m. But get to the water show earlier so you can get a seat. But you still have time. Take your time. Don't rush like everybody else. You'll be fine. Getting ready to watch the show for the last time before we head out of here. Not as many people as yesterday. We're now walking back to the accommodation, watched both light shows, and ended up running into a German couple. Hung out with them for a little bit, and then we went separate ways. Always good to have contacts all over the place. And I think this is it for the Singapore trip, guys. I mean, I'm going to call it for the evening, and that was it. So hope you enjoyed. If there was anything more to add, I'll throw it in. But if not, next stop is Taipei. So we'll see what is next in store for us. Thanks, guys, for watching again, and enjoy.